Hello, welcome back to the Way Forward. Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest Premier League preview. The Red Devils are back in action on Saturday night at 5:30. We are welcoming Nottingham Forest, who are actually having a good season, to be fair to them. I think not many expect the Forest to have a good season so far. But look, it's going to be a big game, another big game for Manchester United, for Ruben Amorim's Manchester United. After we lost on Wednesday against Arsenal. This has been recorded on the Thursday. I mean, look, games are coming thick and fast now. Look, as a fan that loves football, I'm Manchester United. I'm not complaining when there's football matches nearly every day of the week. It's like heaven to football fans, and this is what it's like all the way up until Crimbo or up until the new year. You could say it's going to be football nearly. Well, it's going to be most weeks up until the new year, you'd imagine. Before we get stuck into the preview, please like the video, comment your thoughts on the upcoming game against Forest. Do you think we'll get the win? Do you think Manchester United can bounce back? And let us know what you think about Ruben Amorim's rotating every now and rotating in games. Ever since he's came in, he's been rotating. He hasn't went with two same teams yet. It's been changed to 11 since he's came in. Let us know what you think of that and do subscribe. Be much appreciated, and follow our socials links in the description. I want to try something exciting to do before Christmas or even Christmas Eve, something exciting. So I'll try and come up with something. If you have any ideas, pop them in the comments, and I'll give it a consideration. So let's jump into the preview. Let's start it off. Need to catch my breath. Don't know what's going on there. I'm getting too excited. My other back connection, surprisingly. There will be a watch on Saturday. As you can see, from 5:15 p.m, 15 minutes before the game. I hope so. Look, I'll be honest. The reason why we haven't been late why I've been late the last two games is because my stick likes to take the mick. So hopefully on Saturday it can be my friend again, and we can go and have a proper, nice watch along without any upsets. So Manchester United and the stick and the internet. So let's hope that could be the case. So join for a watch along, team news, build up, all that sort of stuff, and let's see what team Ruben Amorim goes with. It's gonna be a good one. Fingers crossed. Saturday nights, 5:30 at Old Trafford under the lights. What can go wrong? So let's look into our form here in our last 5 games. So we beat Leicester 3-0. We drew 1-1 against Ipswich. We beat Bodo Glimt 3-2. We beat Everton 4-0, and we lost 2-0 against Arsenal. So Arsenal is our. I think, was it a month or something like that was the last time we lost the game? I mean, look, like I said at the end of the watch long, whether it was Ruud van Nistelrooy managing us as interim, Erik ten Hag, or Ruben Amorim, which he was managing us, we probably still would have lost. We lost on something that we struggled to defend, and that's corners. And we lost against a team who are literally, look, I'm going to say here, they're the best team in the Premier League at taking corners. I honestly, would you go as far to say they're the best team in the world of football at this moment in time to take corners? I mean, the way they take their corners, the way they just know it. They had no Gabriel, who was their main. They had no Gabriel against us, who was their main threat in that box when there was a corner taken, and he wasn't there. But Saliba found the back of the net, and so did Timber. So two defenders found the back of the net, unfortunately. Corners that could have been defended better, but look, it's hard when you're playing against Stoke City and Tony Pulis, Mikel Pulis is the manager. It's so hard. I don't know what to make of it all. But yeah, look, it was a game that we in the first half we frustrated Arsenal, and in the second half they upped the intensity. And I mean, look, one of my friends was at the match, and he said that Ruben Amorim didn't go down the tunnel at halftime. He stayed out watching Ahmad warm up, which sort of makes you think why. I mean, why? But look, maybe we'll get a bit more news about that. Let's see what happens. But it's the first I've heard of it. We frustrated Arsenal in the first 45 minutes of the first half. We didn't create much. Both sides weren't really that good, I'll be brutally blunt. Second half, like I said, Arsenal upped the intensity, and we just struggled to cope, I think. And look, it's not like we conceded from open play. We conceded from... It is good that we conceded from 2 set pieces, but it got Arsenal they had about 50 corners, and they scored 2 out of 50. I mean, look, they are a top team at taking corners. They're fighting for they're trying to keep their title hopes going. Because I think even though Liverpool drew against Newcastle last night, also, if Arsenal didn't win last night, it probably would have made matters a bit more tough, and it would have made matters better for Liverpool and matters worse for Arsenal. And Man City won last night as well. Look, that wouldn't be surprising if they go on a 150 game winning streak. But look, we have 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, and United to bounce back. I do suspect we'll win on Saturday against Forest. I do. I suspect. Look, they have a good away form. Their away form is good. I think they're like 4th or 3rd in the table when it comes to away form. Our home form has improved. And look, let's see if we can bounce back. But I do suspect we get a victory on Saturday night. I think the fact that it's at Old Trafford, look, that loss against Arsenal, as much as it's going to lose against Arsenal, home or away, or in any competition, I think it's a learning lesson. And Ruben did say, a storm is going to hit us. A storm is going to come. And what would you say Arsenal was a storm? I wouldn't say, but I think it was a learning lesson. I think there'll be lessons learned, there'll be things to improve on, and that's what we'll have to do. That's exactly what we'll have to do. Unfortunately, I think it has to get bad before it gets better. And that, Ruben, we're going to get here with emotional roller coaster. We're going to get here with unfortunately, some big hammer. Well, I wouldn't say big hammers, 3-4 maybe. And we'll just have to work on it. But that's the whole process. All teams go through it. They go through getting a few beatings before they get better. And the team we played last night are an example of that. But I mean, look, someone said there's a few positives coming out last night, but I found one. I found Euro came on replacing Harry Maguire with, I think it was like half hour, 30 minutes to spare. And to be honest, I didn't think he'd done too bad for his first game back. It was literally his competitive debut. He made his competitive debut under Ruben Amorim when the last time Euro played Manchester United, Erik ten Hag was Manchester United manager. I mean, it just goes to show how life quick can change as a Manchester United player. I tell you that for free. I didn't think he'd done too bad. And look, even if he went out and he had a howler, he's only back. He's only back. And look, I don't think he'll start on Saturday. I think Ruben knows what he's doing. He's when players are coming back from injury, he's just easing them back in nice and easy. So look, he may come on against Forest. He may get half an hour, 20 minutes under his belt again, get the few minutes, get the cobwebs off, get the legs back up and running to full strength. And that's brilliant, because look at Luke Shaw. He's now out injured for a couple of weeks. So the last thing you want is any more injuries in the back, in the defence, because it's not like a back four where you can say, oh, well, this and this person can go in. You need a bit of, I like to say, you need a bit of pace about you if you have to play at the back. I'm not saying Dele has a lot of pace, but he's quicker than Maguire, he's quicker than Johnny Evans, and Leach is quick, Mazraoui's quick, and Euro has pace as well. So there's pace there, and I was nice to see him back. Whether he starts on Saturday, I don't think so. So yeah, nice to see Euro back, and let us know what you thought of his competitive debut as Manchester United football player. Ruben Amorim. So let's talk about Ruben. Look, I can see what he's trying to do at Manchester United. He's had four games at Manchester United, and his first loss came against Arsenal. And look, I can see what he's trying to do. And look, it's hard to do a lot with the group of players he has. Whether we sign a player or two in January, or if we don't sign anyone in January, we'll definitely be signing a couple in the summer, you'd hope. But people are thinking about rotation. People are saying, is it a good thing that he's keep rotating? Because, what I think Ruben's trying to do is, because if this was pre-season, he'd get away with rotating anyone and everyone. But the fact that it's mid-season, he sort of has to. He's still rotating, but with cautious, I'd say, because look, like I said, if he came in during the summer, by a first game, second game, we'd be up and running. The fact that it's mid-season, teams are up to speed, and we're trying to catch up, it's tough going. But people are talking about his rotation thing. Is it a good thing? Because we're not getting consistency in some of the players. One player's playing well, then players are probably going to feel hard done by. It's hard. It is hard, because if we end up losing on Saturday, be thinking, right, what the hell? I mean, he picked like a team that I don't think many people expected him to pick against Arsenal. But is he looking at our injury record? Last season it was abysmal. This season it's better than last season, you could say. Maybe he's looking at that. Maybe he doesn't want to pick up any knocks. You'd probably rather lose games than pick up long-term injuries that can cost him further down the line. I don't know. Or is he getting told, look, these players can only play a certain amount of minutes for a certain amount of time? I don't know. But this is the joys of playing in the Premier League. This is the joys of managing Manchester United. You're going to have games coming at you thick and fast. You're going to have most games coming to you twice a week. I can't remember last time we didn't fail to qualify for a European competition. We're either in the Europa League or the Champions League. That's it. I'm not even going to talk about Conference League because, my God, we're not that bad. Jesus Christ, we're not that bad. We don't deserve to be there. But, like, I think if you look at Ipswich, it was a bit of rotation. Bodo Glimt, bit of rotation. Everton, bit of rotation, and we got the win. Arsenal, bit of rotation. Unfortunately, we lost. Forest, I'll be surprised if we don't see a bit of rotation. I'll be blunt. I think that's what he wants to do. But I do think the players will have to cop on because Ruben will eventually find the players that will work better with a system that suits the system. Ahmad definitely in there. I think the players that would suit a system and should be in a system, I'd say Dele, Leach, Mazraoui, Ahmad, Ugarte, Rasmus, hopefully we see more of him. Obviously the goalie, Onana. I'm still yet to be convinced by your Rashfords, your Brunos, your Garnachos, your Malassias, your Dallos. Who else am I missing? Look, we have to see a bit more about Euro, but I'm sure he'll do well in the back three. But look, we haven't really seen him. We've seen him play, but when we see him play a bit more, then we can judge on him. Then I'm not going to judge on him on the last 30 minutes of a football match when we were down and out. Or, well, we're not down now, but we were losing. But yeah, there are players that deserve to be in a system. When Ahmad and Mazraoui are the top two. I like the way the Lit's actually performing in the back three. Leach not doing too shabby there as well. Mainu and Ugarte, that could be something that could work as well. But even Mason Mount as well, I forgot to mention. I'm still yet to be convinced by him, regardless of whether it was Steve Wonder manager Manchester United. I'd still need to be convinced on Mount and a couple of other players as well. But yeah, because Ruben will eventually find, right, this is 11 I'm going to stick with, and this one I'm going to go with, and let's go. We're not going to keep rotating every now and again. I'm sure next season, you'll have one game a week, and then you'll have maybe 2 games a week. But then, look, if he doesn't know his proper 11 by at least January, February, well, then I don't know what's going on there, Ruben. But I'd reckon he'll eventually find, and then we'll get go because he's trying to get a feel of the players. He's trying to get used to the players. They're trying to get used to him. And I think, again, as what he's probably rotating because of that as well to see who can do well here. And then he's also thinking about, right, there's games nearly 3 or 4 days gap, and we need to rotate as well, also pick up injuries and a few little niggles and all that. And anyways, so yeah, how can we beat Forest? Look, Forest aren't doing too bad. I think we'll win this game. I think we'll win it by about 2 or 3. I do think we'll win it by about 2 or 3 goals. I know Forest have a good away form, but I know we lost against Arsenal, but I look at Everton last week. Forest are better than Arsenal. Forest are better than Everton by a country mile this season, anyways. They're 6th in the league. Let me have a look. We're 11th with 19 points. Forest are 6th with 22 points. So Manchester United victory could put us level on points, and we have a better goal difference than them. So who knows where we sit come Monday or Sunday evening. Who knows? Who knows? Because I still have a couple of games to play as well. And Tottenham are playing tonight also. This has been recorded on Thursday. Who knows? But look, let's jump into Nottingham Forest. So, and by the way, I do back Ruben. I have to back him. I backed Ten Hag, but I got to a stage where it was inevitable to see him still have Manchester United job by Christmas. It was inevitable that he was going to be Manchester United manager come next summer, so that was inevitable. It was hard to argue with people wanting him out in the end, but Amram might do back. I do see what he wants. So I like about him that he doesn't give a shit. He has no favourites. I know some people talking about Bruno, but he's not going to drop his captain Maybe it'd be a different conversation if someone else was captain. But he's not going to drop his bloody captain. I'm sorry. You take the captain's armour on that, Bruno, who'd you give it to? I know some would say Leach. Is he, like, come on. People were crying out for Bruno to get the captain's arm, and now we get to, like, oh, drop him. Bruno's not been good so far. I agree. He could be better. We've seen a better Bruno, but I'm not picking up for anyone. No one here. Ruben, Bruno, Manchester United players. I'm not. But he's not going to drop his captain. Who's he going to give it to? It's not that. I'm sure if it came to the stage, Ruben would probably like, right, Bruno, what the hell? You're dropped. And people were like, what the hell? And then we drop Bruno, then be like, oh, well, why'd you drop Bruno? You just can't win. You just can't win. But it doesn't matter what you do. But look, I back Ruben. I see what I see. He has plans. I see what I see. I see a system. I see what he wants to do. And I didn't see that under Eric Ten Hag or any previous Manchester United manager. Let's talk about Forest. So Forest, last 5 games, they beat West Ham 3-0. They lost 3-1 against Newcastle. They lost 3-0 against Arsenal. Beat Ipswich 1-0, and they lost against Manchester City with 3-0. So in the last 5, 2 wins, 0 draws, and 3 losses. Look at their danger man. Let's look at the top goal scorer, and it seems to be Chris Wood. But look, they also have Gibbs White, Alange, who else is it? Hudson-Odoi. They have a few decent players who can cause a threat to Manchester United, and that will need as well. I'm looking at our top goal scorer in the Prem, and it seems to be Rashford with 4, but Bruno has 5 assists, Masraoui with 44 tackles. He's probably our best player this season, to be blunt. But I do think Woods is definitely a threat. Gibbs White, Alange, Hudson-Odoi, because Alange has pace, Hudson-Odoi has pace. Wood is still having a good season. Gibbs White is also a good player as well at picking out a pass or two, and he also has a little bit of pace about him as well, so he's definitely a threat. So Nottingham Forest is definitely not one of them games where you say, look, it's guaranteed victory. It's definitely not a guaranteed victory. Definitely not. And like we spoke about their away form, which is good, something to look at. And look, they lost against Manchester City. They want to come and try and beat Manchester United, which, look, will it be tough? You suspect so, but we'll see what happens. But I think to beat us, Arsenal try to, will they try and run at our back 3? Most teams trying to do that. I don't think most teams have actually succeeded so far. But look, let's see what happens on Saturday. But they're definitely not. Nuno's doing a good job there. I didn't suspect Ipswich or Nottingham Forest would be 6th. They were like 3rd or 4th place at some stage of the season, which is huge for Forest. So yeah. Now let's jump into predicted 11. Anywho, so I have Onana in goals, a back 3 of Martinez, Delay, and Masraoui. Malacia left wing back, Ahmad right wing back, a midfield of Mainu and Casemiro, and then I'm going to go Rashford, Bruno behind Joshua Zirkzee. Look, I feel like at Ruben, it's also exciting to predict the team, but it's also you're unsure what team we're actually going to go with. And look, I'm looking at would this be the team I'd go with? Would this be the team I'd go with? No, it wouldn't. I'd probably have Ugarte alongside Manu. Rasmus up top. Would I start Rashford? Look, I can also say I'd like to have Ahmad and Bruno behind Rasmus, Zirkzee, Manu and Ugarte, Martinez, Dele, Euro, but have Masraoui right wing back. But it's not my preferred team, so predicted team, because that Ruben likes rotation, and that's just how it is. And we've seen Manu and Casemiro play alongside each other at against Everton, and we beat them 4-0. Zirkzee played, we beat them 4-0. So it'd be a similar team you see it against Everton last weekend. Look, Maguire may start and said it depends on how minutes go. But look, in terms of score prediction, I am going to go with a Manchester United 3-1 victory. I do think we get the win. I do think we're good enough to beat Forest. And look, we need the points. We just need the points for confidence, pushes up the table. Whether Because look, I'm looking at our next Premier League game after Forest, and it's Manchester City next Sunday at the Etihad. We literally have Forest, Victoria Pleasant, Forest at home, Victoria Pleasant away, City away, Tottenham away, Bournemouth at home. So it's funny because our next home game is Bournemouth on the 22nd of December. I have it wrote down here, so that's what I'm looking down. The 22nd of December is our next home game after Forest. We have 3 away games then after that. Pleasant's away, City's away, Tottenham's away in the Cup, and Bournemouth's at home in the Prem. So the 22nd of December. So that'll be 17 days from now. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to go with 3 Manchester United away, and we need the points, especially against City. Because look, depending on how we perform in these next 2 games, I may be a giddy little shit and predict us to beat City. But look, depending on how we play against Forest and Victoria Pleasant, this is what I'm going to go with. In terms of goal scorers, I'm going to go with Xerxes, I'm going to go with Ahmad, and I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford. I'm going to go Marcus Rashford. And for Forest, I'm going to go with the obvious one. I like to throw a curveball in there, but I'm going to go with Chris Wood. I was going to go with Gibbs Wood or Anthony Langer, but I'm going to go with Chris Wood. Look, there's no point throwing a curveball in. It's Forest. Like I said, they're not going to be an easy team to beat, but I think we'll have more than enough. I think we're good in the attack. Arsenal are a good team. Some people are going to be letting that game get in on them. I personally wouldn't. But look, this has been the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest Premier League preview. Hope you all can join us for the watch long on Saturday from 5:15 p.m. It's going to be a good one. It's under the lights at Old Trafford in the Premier League. Please like the video, comment your predictions for the upcoming game against Forest. Do subscribe and I'll speak to you all on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Come on, United, let's get the win. Come on, the Suns. Speak to you all next one, Reds.